Okay, beautiful people out there. Yeah, it's us once again on Prime Media Studio. The usual guys. Yes, once in a while I call us usual suspects and good dates. Yeah, of course, this is Prosper Michael.
Sheme Peter One.
Okay, so as usual, we're going to be telling you a whole lot today as regard what makes the major headlines uh, across all the news channels in Nigeria and of course all over the world. So as time will allow us, we'll give you those tidbits. So stay put and enjoy the ride. Okay, of course, our able cameraman is also behind the scene, making sure that you get the gist. Already, so let's show you what is on the screen, which will be the first story for the day. I think this story is on the Vanguard. Peter, we can see that two people died, eight others hospitalized after drinking tea at a wedding ceremony in Kano State. Mr. Peter, we're talking about how come about this tea that they have to drink tea, and the next thing we are seeing that people are dying and they're being rushed. It appears like kind of poison or something.
I don't I don't really understand. I've been to several wedding. I don't think I've seen people drinking tea. You can see people drink water, soft drink, alcoholic drink. You understand? But I've not seen people drinking tea. So this sounds so strange to me.
Because most times when you are on such events, especially the celebrant, there might not be room to eat and all that. They might bring out all this light food so people can eat, so they can have strength to do other things and all that. It's just like somebody offering you water. Depends on the environment. I know I have been able to cover when I was very active in video coverage. I used to cover some wedding, but to come there when couples are dressing up and all that, fixing all the stuff, ornament and all that, and they might bring tea and so everybody take tea. And yeah, they drink tea a lot. They take bread also early in the morning.
I've not seen it before. That's why I see it.
Okay, yeah, I have experienced several. So they do that. I believe that's when this happened, and this might likely be a food poison. The way it is, and it's a serious issue over there. So I think the story is still trying to unravel what happened, if actually it was a poison, or at least two people dead, 8 in the hospital. That's 10. So definitely it's not. They don't have stomach ache before now. This is a serious issue. But if this actually a man-made accident, this is terrible, and they should be able to investigate properly. Who brought out the tea? Who prepared it? When you were preparing it, did you leave the tea there? Who was there with you? I think they should go to
who prepared the tea and the kind of tea they prepared, check the expiry date and all those kind of things.
Exactly. Okay.
It's very important.
A is one that prepared it. When you prepare, you leave the kitchen, you leave that place for somebody else to come inside. So I think police should do something very proper to unravel what happened in that event. It's a sad one though. It's unfortunate we're starting with this, but just so that whoever is in this kind of event should be very careful. Because it's not everyone that's actually happy that you're getting married. Yeah, a lot of people are happy, but some people are not happy. It could be maybe, I'm just saying, young men, they play game a lot. Jump from one girl to another, jump from this.
What about the women?
You promise, you will talk about the women. Let me talk about the guys. You promise Angelina that you will marry Angelina, you now move to Beatrice. From Beatrice, you move to the other one. And at the end, they will not hear on the news that you're going to get married. Why they have the mind that you're going to marry them. Some of them can be so mad and want to do something stupid. I'm not. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, Mr. Peter, we forget something before we proceed. I want to. Cause we have a whole lot of news. I need to say this quickly before I forget. Today is my mother-in-law's birthday.
Wow.
I call her Mama G.
Mama G.
Yeah, G for general.
Yes.
Because her in-laws are all over the world, and so I call her Mama G. Mama G, today is your birthday. Do enjoy your day, your new age, and just be happy. You have so much.
Happy birthday, Mal.
We
are wishing you all the best from Prime Media.
You have so much all around you. Then we'll have in our hearts, okay? And we're gonna make sure you're okay, that you really enjoy your time, okay? Happy birthday, man. Okay, Mr. Peter. Moving on. Let's just move straight to the next story that talked about the 10th National Assembly leadership. Senators elects, reps elects move for open contest. The battle is still on. They wants to make sure the context is open. Some are saying zone it. Some are saying leave it open. We don't whenever they are saying, whoever is saying leave it open, you know they have a strong leg.
Yes.
They know that if this is open, we're going to get it. But some say no, let's zone it.
Yeah, I think it has to do with zoning because
it should go with zoning because already we can see that the first or second position has taken its place already. I think they should be able to use this to compensate some area, so that they will have peace in this administration if COSO decide. I won't forget. I will not stop using the word if COSO decide, because the matter is actually heating up in the courts right now as we speak. I know I will get to that story though. So those that are clamoring for zoning, I think they are, as far as I'm concerned, this is my own personal opinion, I think they are on the right track. They are saying the right thing. They should be zoned to the. I'm particularly about the southeast. Yes, I'm particularly about the southeast. They should zone to that area. Not that I like Ojikale in person. Yes, this is my opinion, not anybody's opinion. I don't know him, but not that I'm so much fond of him. But the way it is right now, I think that area should be able to produce a slave president. Let the Southeast have a taste of this power as a third position in the country. This can also pacify, reduce the tension in that environment. Which you look at, this don't just being as if power belongs to one side; it belongs to the whole everybody in the country. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what we call wisdom. We use wisdom to fix something.
Yes, then put them in the right perspective. Okay, let's moving on. We also saw the story on the Vanguard newspaper where we see that Buhari writes Senate seeks approval of $800 million loan request.
Wow.
Let me just quickly give you a hint of that story. So President Muhammadu Buhari has, on Wednesday, which is yesterday, wrote to the Senate asking the Honorable House to approve a new loan request of $800 million. In the letter read by the President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, President Muhammadu Buhari, who noted that the loan would be utilized to scale up the National Social Safety Net Program, said that the loan would be sourced from the World Bank. Okay, that's what the loan is meant for. And so Peter, the question that keeps coming to people's mind is that why all this at this time? This is the tail end of just 19 days to the for the tenure of this administration to elapse, 19 days, and you are still asking for loan. I don't know what you think about this.
He has stated. He just stated why the reason why he's collecting the loan. So let's hope that the loan will really get effect in what he's collecting it for.
Because we heard last time they are winding up, summarizing, declaring the achievements and all that, because time is running out. All the ministers are summarizing the achievements for the 8 years time they spend in the office. I think every other work project should be left for the next administration.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you trying to say they should put a stop? He should suspend his work for now?
No. What I'm saying is that before there was budget, right? The things they needed to do was budgeted for, and the money was approved, right, by the Senate. I'm thinking they should work with that. Then, any other project should be left for the next administration. This loan, who's going to pay back this loan? It's like a father indebting, borrowing money for the children to come and pay. I don't think it's the right thing to do. But if the funny thing that the snake keep approving it.
From my own perspective, what I want to contribute to this is, if that loan that is trying to collect is to be used within now till when he will leave the office, then it's fine. But if the loan is about collecting it is to be used after him leaving the office, I don't think we need to collect that loan.
Ms. Peter, which project will you embark on and finish within 19 days? Looking at the state of the economy right now, that's the point. I think anyway, they have a way of doing things. I'm just saying, okay. And if the Senate should be able to look into this and say, no, sir, your time is almost up. Our time is almost up. Let's not approve this so that we don't, because the burden, the debt, we're going to read this story today. The debt burden in the country is so much high as we speak right now.
Just like the other day, you were telling me that I'm owing China.
Yes, you are. You are owing China. If all the money that we are owing right now is properly shared among everybody, you are owing China. So we should discourage all this right now, okay? All right. So we still have other stories that made the headline, and we saw yesterday. We talked about I talked about the military onslaught on the terrorists and all that, and so people are saying that fear as fleeing Zamfara terrorists close in on Kaduna. This is when I saw this round. This is from fry pan to fire. Kaduna is already suffering so much already, and terrorists are now moving from one other area from Zamfara now back to Kaduna, and Kaduna is already battling with theirs. But okay, fine. If indeed this story is they are aware of this, right? The military are aware of this. I think it's to just quickly arrange from that area also, so they'll now run into their mouth.
Because this is Kaduna, and that's where the main military base is, where they treat our military and other stuff.
Okay.
So they should be able to come out and really battle with these people to send them back to wherever they are coming from.
So that, I mean, the kind of onslaught that is going on in Zamfara, it should be implemented also in Kaduna. It should be all run so that this can be taken care of. I know our military are capable. They are capable. I keep telling people that one man made one comment. I think he said he is not afraid of the army of a lion led by a sheep. Rather, he is scared of army of sheep led by a lion, which means everything falls in the hand of a good leader. A good leader, when a good leader is in position, is in place, he knows how to strategize and harness whatever resource at his or her disposal to be able to achieve a set goal, an objective. You understand? We have Arsenal. If prevention, our president is a former military person, he knows what is the military needs to be able to take care of this kind of situation. We have country. What did the country do this day? They use drone to achieve their aims. Unmanned drone, what they call unmanned drone, you be in your room, just where we're in this street right now, and you are controlling the drone. The drone will go as far as that area and scan the forest and know where these guys are based. Some use heat sensor. With heat, they can see even the animal inside the bush. They will feel it in the radar. These are the next level. That's the next level. So each time I hear terrorists do this, they attack, they run away, they did that, I keep wondering.
This Nigerian situation, I don't want to classify it as terrorism. You know why I say so? Terrorists, the way they operate, they operate, they are so wise. But these Nigerian terrorists, the way they just invade villages, They don't act as if they are white at all. So they are very easy to wipe out.
So it means that something is really
Yes.
under the carpet that nobody's trying to bring it out.
Are very easy to deal with.
Okay, I know we have NSA and so on and so forth, all the Central Intelligence for the special advisors and all these terrorism and all that. I think they should put their education to work. It's not about having a certificate and proving and occupying position. Put it to work. Make sure the country is safe. Okay. So, yeah, we have said ours, and I'm sure they will do what is necessary. And of course, there's still a story on the terrorists released 11 kidnapped worshippers in Kaduna. 11 still in captivity. We still hear this rate of kidnapping, some numbers released, some number kept, and so on and so forth in the country. A place where about when you 11 plus 14, you'll be seeing almost about that's about 25. A place where 25 people are kept. You know how that place will look like. We know. Or are they keep them in separate places, in different places? Maybe one here, one there, one there. So and we're saying this. The kidnap, this thing is still ongoing. It has become a lucrative business for some of these people, these guys, and they don't want to stop until they are forcefully pushed to stop. We hope that remaining people will be released accordingly. Okay, Mr. Peter, we also saw one story that is the former president of the United States is trying to come back for re-election, and he's promising that if re-elected, that he will end the war in the war between Russia and Ukraine within 24 hours. Do you think Trump has this capacity to do this?
This is I used to call Trump U.S. Jagaban. This is Jagaban of U.S. This guy is capable of doing this. Seriously, he's really capable of doing it. Because Trump is this kind of person that don't tolerate rubbish from anyone.
Yeah.
So whatever he wants to achieve,
he just go ahead and use any means necessary to achieve that. Straight up. So he said, I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled, like he just mentioned. He's subjective, and anything he wants to do, he goes straight and get it done. If it's a war, let's go ahead and fight it. If it's a peace. So Trump said in CNN town hall before he left audience in the state of the New Hampshire. So because again, he has this close tie with Putin. So I think they will speak their language. They understand big man to big man, and rub shoulder, and we'll see that because the war that's really, really ravaging, and it has caused a lot of distress, a lot of loss of lives, and so on and so forth. A lot of threats with nuclear weapon and all that. This guy keeps threatening people with nuclear weapon and all that.
They just threatening. If you don't launch, pay them lotion. We don't tire. They keep threatening the world.
We're hearing about hypersonic bomber.
If they want to launch it, they should launch it. We are capable of stopping that.
Do we have hypersonic bomber in
there? You see now we can afford it.
Not afford. You see, we should be able to grow out of this mentality of buying weapons, from buying things from foreign towns, countries, and all that. We have what it takes to actually develop a whole lot. It's just that our leaders are not looking inward, and we just keep believing on it. Importing, buying. While we have brains that can actually get things sorted. Remember this story of the Nigerian Civil War? We heard about one weapon that was developed then, Ogbunigwe, right? Ogbunigwe, right? I hope I got it right. I think that weapon was developed within, and those brains that did those things those days has the government recruit that they brought them aboard and give them the resources they need to be able to, whether we like it or not. It's best that each country have the capability to develop their own whatever they need to live as a independent country, right? We should be able to use your resources to develop what you need to survive. The world, every country, they are fighting for this their survival and the survival of its citizen and protection of its citizen. We should be able to have this capacity to develop whatever we need to protect ourselves.
And it's true because if I'm a president of a country, take for instance US, because some of these weapons they buy from them. You understand? Take for instance now from China also. Take for instance now if I'm a president of a country, I'll give you the substandard one.
Apart from substandard, Mr. P, I can put something there whenever I show it down. I can show it anywhere, anytime I want. Yeah, I'll put something in there. If I want to shut it down, in case you have issue with me, I want to shut it down, I will shut down all your planes. None of them will be able to fly. But if I develop it myself, you can't do anything about it, right? Okay, we're just saying. We're just saying we don't have any capability here to.
This one put sugar for this one.
Okay, we just have to say the way it is, and at least what the whole country are thinking. The world, the first, like US, UK, China, Russia, they don't buy these weapons from outside other countries. They develop with themselves. That's what makes you independent. When you can do things yourself, not holding on to foreign country for survival. Because any country you hold on to for survival will definitely, of course, they will bargain. They will get something from you in return. The day your loyalty is not yet, it's not in place anymore, they'll come after you.
If we can produce a vehicle like Innocent, if I'm right.
Now the question is, Mr. Peter, Innocent, what support is it getting from the government? That's another thing. Okay, we have somebody.
That guy, I think, is getting support from.
But I'm not comfortable actually. Now, when we talk about support, Mr. P, by now we should be seeing most of government officials cruising on Innocent vehicle. At least you see how we spend a lot of money buying Benz, expensive vehicle. Does it mean Innocent cannot make a bulletproof vehicle and all that? So what I'm talking about. But we spend millions getting this bulletproof, expensive vehicle out there, and we'll have somebody. You see, like the likes of Dangote. You know very well that to some certain level, he's got this recognition, federal government recognition, and all that. And we expect the person of Innocent and the likes that are out there. This is what we can see. There are some that are still waiting for a serious support for the government to be able to come up and do something, something that the whole world that can help the country and the whole world can see. Because this is what this man keeps saying, LP candidate Peter Obi, that he wants to make us a sporting nation, not an importing nation, right? You understand? Where we'll be able to manufacture our stuff and export it out there. Not just consuming, but rather export it. We should be able to have enough locally made vehicle, if not to other countries, can send to our African country around us. You know, start exporting them out. We should get to that level by now. If we joke and some of that vehicle used to be assemble these cars in the country, right? But all these things are all down, and nobody's looking through all those directions. Okay, yeah, is the right way to think.
That reminds me, it's just like this after the communication and whatever now. I don't think we have a nice deal that we used before again. We still have it.
So yeah, we know one thing about Nigeria that they retain those things, and people see making money, keep collecting salary from all these things behind the scene, but the operation is not how it should be. I don't understand me. You keep hearing that the name still exists. The name is there, the operation is there, some monthly salary is going to people's pocket, but the aim of that project, you can't see them. You can't see them. That is the issue. And nobody will be able to say, let's audit, let's know what is functioning. If it's not functioning, privatize it.
I think it has been privatized. That's why you see these other companies. These other companies in Nigeria now, like MTN, Glo, and which other one, Nine Mobile, they don't have the facility that Nitel has. So they tap from Nitel direct.
Let us move to the next story, Mr. Peter. We saw recently that any little thing here, you are finding, find this, we find that, and I will see in Vanguard that NBC lacks power to impose fines on broadcast station. That's what court has said. So, and before now, a lot of media houses they defined, even China's and some other media houses they got fined from NBC, and people were like, this is a way of trying to shut the mouth of the station, requires media to always say or do what we favor these some certain people. But normally, media that's supposed to be free, you understand? At least they have a code of conduct. Media will have a code of conduct, you understand? But now, any little thing you see, fine. To find this, find that. But now the court has said, no, you do not have right to do that. I need to read this story in particular, okay? So the void fine of 500,000 fine imposed on 45 broadcast stations. So the story says the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja yesterday barred the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) from imposing fines on airing broadcast stations in the country. The court, which described NBC's actions as illegal, voided the 500,000 fine the commission imposed on 45 broadcast stations on March 1st, 2019. The court also restrained NBC from further imposing fines on broadcast stations in the country. The court gave judgment in a suit by Incorporated Trustees of Media Rights Agenda (MRA), which had challenged the powers of NBC to impose fines on broadcast stations in the country. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) has commended the court for restraining NBC for imposing fines on broadcast stations in the country. So you see, this is a lot of people have been expecting something like this because the way the fine was just coming in was just too much. Any little thing, you find this, you find. Imagine 45 stations. You know what that means? And when you look at this thing that requires this, there's other code of conduct. There's other thing that can be done rather than imposing fine here and there. So this is what the court has said, and of course, the Nigerian Guild of Editors has said that's a good right way to go. All these fine things should stop henceforth. There are other ways to punish an organization other than doing this. I know those days. Whenever you're going on air, they'll give you instruction how to go, what to say, what not to say. So be careful when you have the guest in the studio and it's going way out of the context. You bring him back, you caution him and all that. And when somebody cautions somebody, when you are live, a lot can be said. You understand? And when you fail to caution, that's a different case. But when you caution the person speaking, oh no, this is not good. After you have done your own part, you know. So in that case where I have cautioned my guests and you see went ahead and think that because my guests have said something that is not good, despite caution, you see stand fine on me or my station, I think that is part of the thing that I should just very bad. Because the media, this is one of the organizations that checkmates government SHs and all that. Because if not, some people don't feel they can do anything they want to do and get away with it. But the media, we have investigative journalism, we have a lot of departments that ensure that stories are properly brought. We have editors in some stations, most stations. When you bring story, you edit it first before you go on air. So we have a lot of method of making sure that what is not newsworthy doesn't go out there. So it is a good one, right way to go, so that people just go into the want and feel they can get away with it. Okay. Of course, moving on to the next story. Ms. Peter, this is the court process that is still ongoing. Now we can see that there's adjournment again. There's adjournment again to this
presidential pool.
Yes. I hope this adjournment is this thing is the right way, because this delay and all that is another issue entirely. You know. It has been joined to 17th of May.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
So yeah, you can that to the inauguration.
Yes, so
okay, let's just it says the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has deferred further proceedings on the petition, the candidate of the LP, Mr. Peter Obi, filed to challenge the outcome of the 2023 presidential election May 17. The adjournment followed an agreement by all the parties in the matter, cited as first to fourth respondents in the petitions are the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the President-elect Bola Tinubu, Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, and All Progressive Congress (APC). Obi and the LP had immediately proceed to resume on the matter, told the court that the parties met and agreed to ask for an adjournment to enable them to file and exchange necessary legal documents. So he told the court that there were many processes and motions yet to be filed in the matter. So I think this was more kind of agreement within them. So if it's agreement, of course, the judge would definitely allow you to go ahead with it. It was not agreed when one party insisted that no, it has to be like this. That's when there will be some issue. But they have agreed that it should be adjourned to the 17th of May. So I think they're taking time. They want to make sure that error was not created and everybody gets the proper judgment they deserve. Okay, so a lot of people actually have been holding on to this and holding on, believing that the right judgment will be passed. Okay, and we're also looking forward to it. And of course, as it's going on, we'll be giving you updates from Prime Media Studio. Of course, we are still watching Prime Media Studio, and this is Pastor Michael, and we have Peter. So moving on, what do we have next?
NPA Lekki Port. Niger Republic in talk over transit and cargo.
Okay. Mr. Peter, I think I was fortunate to be around that port yesterday, and the place is so lovely. Let me just speak of the beauty of the place in the first place. The place is so lovely, and the display and the arrangement. The only concern I have in that area is still the roads. Though a proper paving is taking place there, but the wideness of that road, I don't think is enough to handle a lot of because there might be likely be gridlock there. Maybe the sea might help, but the roads, unless they want to expand it in the future or something. So the management of the Lekki Freeport Terminal, operators of the Lekki Deep Sea Port, has said that it is currently in talks with port operators from Niger Republic over transit cargoes to through by the sea. The management also said that a total of 4 vessels have called at the port since it commenced commercial operations, adding that the port is ready to take any size of vessel. Speaking at the stakeholders meeting at the port premises Wednesday, Chief Commercial Officer, Lekki Freeport Terminal, Mr. Kenny Olubiniyi, said the terminal, in collaboration with the Nigeria Port Authority (NPA), has been meeting with the operators and officials of the NPA with a view to convincing them to take delivery of their transit cargoes. According to him, the transshipment to Niger and Chad is of course, and discussions are ongoing with officials of both countries. He also disclosed that clearance of cargoes from the port can be processed between 5 and 10 days, adding that customs officers in the port are currently undergoing training on the use of scanners with a view to integrating all stakeholders to cargo operations. So I think it's the right way to go, and they have to liaise with port authority, right?
Yeah.
They have to have similar communication, because so that some cargo can come over to this place, some can go over there. There should be synergy in order to ensure a seamless operation. You can see, like I was saying, the place is so nice. It's a good site, and so open. Close to the refinery. They are all in just the same direction. But since most of this stuff will be moved to the sea, that's fine. But it's going to be the road, that road I'm saying there. No, I don't think the road can take anything.
Too much. Do you think you can expand the road now? Maybe with time, we see their mistake and
there will, yeah. But I think it's not the best time to do it now rather than wait till there's too much, there'll be so much traffic in the environment that really pose serious good luck, which will not be really palatable for people in that houses. Anyway, I'm sure that they know what to do, and the right people on ground to ensure, because there's so much I've heard about that port and all that. So I believe by now, a lot of these things should be put into a proper perspective. Okay, yeah. Moving on.
This is Senate presidency. Dissent in APC. Aspirants demand fresh zoning formula.
Okay, like I think we talked about it earlier today. So a lot of them still clamoring for zoning, which I personally think might be the best thing for them right now, the way the country is. Zoning will help to calm the nerves. So that's long ago. That's in the Punch newspaper. You can just go there and read about the story. We're not going to dwell so much on this. So they know the right thing to do. Okay. So, and we can see in the Punch.
This headline reads, trouble looms over raising debt. Budget office warns.
So, of course, even a child, 10 years old kid can go to know that very well that this is what is happening. You know, why won't there be trouble? Why won't there? Because the debt is increasing and it's not stopping. They are still making requests to the executive are still making requests, still writing for more money to be. They should be allowed to borrow more money. So I need to just read this so you'll be able to get the gist of the story. So the Budget Office of the Federation has said Nigeria now has a limited borrowing space due to its poor debt to revenue ratio, stressing that trouble looms for the country if it exceeds its limits. The Director General of the Budget Office, Ben Akaboize, while addressing members elect of the 10th National Assembly at their week-long induction ceremony in Abuja on Wednesday, pointed out that while Nigeria remains healthy with its debt to GDP ratio, the country is not with its debt revenue ratio. So Akaboize was speaking to the newly elected and returning members of the National Assembly, which is responsible for the consideration, amendment, and passage of annual budget of the federal government, as well as economic bills like the finance bill. He said, you may have heard that we have one of the lowest gross domestic products to debt ratios in the world, while the size of the federal government budget for 2023 created some excitement. The aggregate budget of all the governments in the country amounts to about 30 trillion naira. That is less than 15% in terms of ratio to GDP. So what is saying that we are almost at the limit that you can borrow. Me, for example, Mr. Peter, you can borrow 1 million, and now you're already at 800, 900. And once you see that you can't borrow anymore, which means if the next administration comes aboard and there's a need to do something, they will not be able to borrow. So that was what I was trying to point out on that first story. Why not leave these wages right now? Let the next administration come on board. If they have to borrow to be able to stabilize things, so they will have a place to borrow and stabilize things until they have been able to bring out a good policy that can help them to achieve their aim. But you want to exhaust the limits, which is creates a huge danger for the next administration. It's a big trap for them. Maybe they believe that the president-elect has so much money. If there's no money, he can use his pocket money to fund it and say how he can.
That's wrong.
Yeah, we do this a lot. There's some place in some organization you discover that before company release money, it might take a while. You use your money to take care of it. When the money is released, you now put it back. Maybe the president-elect, the president Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we know it's a big boy. It's a big boy. So, because some guys actually reach out to this country as to speak, maybe we will take his money to finance some stuff and and ask federal government to, to pay back.
Just like Wiki.
Oh, okay. I think that man says that. Oh, you know nothing, right? So it's funny, but economically, this is it's a danger zone. Okay, we just have to move on to the next story. That's in Punch newspaper. You can actually go there and see what's in that Punch. So, of course, we read this already. But this story says palliative, which means are they still insisting on removing the it just has been suspended. So why is it taking loan for palliative or subsidy removal? Well, please don't go to Punch and read the story, okay? Also, we don't waste much time. They will have time limit. Of course, APC pledges to revisit zoning amid lawmakers' protest. So there's a lot of confusion here and there as regards this story. So I think they might likely revisit the zoning because it's going to create division in that party if it's not properly looked into. Okay. We saw the tribunal dismiss more, they're kind of eliminating, removing some of those, some of the, petition that is maybe that might create delays or maybe they find some loopholes in those petitions and all that. I think the major focus here when it comes to election tribunal is that of the LP and the PDP.
Yeah.
That's where most of the attention is actually focused. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Then when this story, it's been long we've heard about. We heard from Akeredolu, right? I think we can see him voice his opinion on this matter, this national leadership. So APC hints of review as Akeredolu G7 orders 40 zoning arrangement. So the story is on the Daily Sun. You can get it just from there. Then moving on. Yeah, we're trying to beat our time. We talked about a few days ago that PDP asking for live coverage of the ongoing election at the tribunal. So here we also see that LP has joined Atiku to actually back the live broadcast of the tribunal proceedings. I don't think this is the right thing to do. They should just let everybody make how they feel of how it's going, so that the area I'm saying this is this. If this is done, Mr. Peter, everybody will be able to understand what is happening, and nobody will be I hear say, nothing like that anymore. What you send it. If you're comfortable with it, if you're not comfortable with it, that's your own problem. You understand? So I think they should heed to their request. Let it be televised. Let it go live. Okay? So that it will calm a lot of nerves out there. So we hope the court they will listen to this and be able to approve. So moving on to the story, we saw 70 days to go while we are still awarding multi-billion naira contracts. So federal government justifying why, despite that our time is winding up and they are still approving contracts to companies and others. So, Mr. Peter,
yes.
So the FEC considers 37 agenda items in one day, approves multi-billion naira contracts for roads, Ogoni, cleanup, and other things. At the extreme end of administration, where all this thing, I'm sure they've been on the table all this while. How come they not be considered? Just stay in. And here we see the federal government saying the federal government is also presided over by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. After 7.5 hours approved multi-billion naira contracts even as it explained why it was still approved. Contrary in the twilight of the administration, the council, which considered 37 items on the agenda, insisted that it continue to work until the last day as constitutionally required. Okay, so the senior special assistant to the president, Garba Shehu, described Wednesday's sessions as quite extraordinary, saying it's been a very long day for everyone. 37 agenda items were considered for today's meeting, quite extraordinary, fielding questions on why the administration had waited till late hour before churning out multi-billion naira contract. The Minister of Transportation, Mwazu Sambo, maintained that the administration will continue to perform its duties to May 28th. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, without any intentions of mischief, this government was elected to function from 2019 to precisely 29th of May 2023. Should we now stop functioning 1 month before the next appointment because we are coming to the end of the tenure? This government must work. We expect the next government to also work until the very last day of their tenure." You know, Mr. Peter, they always have the way of justifying their actions. But how do you see this?
Well, what I'll just say is, whatever they want to do, they should keep doing. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. Whatever they want to do, they should keep doing it.
Okay, so my colleague, Mr. Peter, has given you go ahead. Whatever you need to do, keep doing it to the end of the administration. But my concern is that don't burden the next administration with X. Yeah, you can work to the end of your time, your sections and all that, but do not burden the next administration so they can have a place to start. So like, because the load is much, it will create chaos, and we don't want that. Yeah, of course, you have to work to the end. But I would love to start by if this government can actually leave some money on ground for the next administration, just the way Peter B did in his time. That would be a robust thing to do. You know, that's my concern. Okay, yeah, work. Of course, you are there to render service. When that's what we elected you in the first place. That's what you voted there to work. So let's keep it running. Okay. Yeah, of course. There's this story on the Chinese news platform that talked about fraud cases, 22 billion naira fraud. EFCC arrests ex-power minister Sir Mama. This Peter.
See, this EFCC guy that is so much like them. You know why I said so? If you like, be ex prime minister or whatever for years, they will still come after once they suspect you in any fraudulent endeavor.
But Mr. Peter, how many of these people are actually spending jail time? How many of them that those people they have actually caught in this? How many of them are spending jail time?
You know, in the process of getting these people, bringing them to the court, from there the request for bail. That bail amount is not a normal amount. Like for example, now this one is 22 billion naira. According to the law, I think, if you are holding someone in debt, take for instance now you are owing me 500,000 naira, because you are arrested and taken to court. If they want to put a bail term for you, it will be like bail term will be like almost half of the money that you are owing.
I really expect, Mr. Peter, any person that is involved in this kind of fraud, power, because I'm very bitter that in my place I don't have electricity, and I'm sure that are the kind of things that actually affecting the power generation. You understand me? I really expect this people to be properly investigated. Anyone found culpable, anyone found guilty should be punished, and that person's jail, there shouldn't be light there at all. There shouldn't be light there for the till the end of his jail time.
That's the guard room. Not the,
Yes, to let the person know what it means to deprive people of electricity. You understand me? Let me just read the story. It said the ex-minister is alleged to have conspired with staff of the power ministry in charge of the accounts of the Zungeru and Mambila hydroelectric power projects and diverted 22 billion naira. So operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have arrested a former minister of power, Sir Maman, over alleged 22 billion fraud. According to the competent source, the former minister was arrested early Wednesday, yesterday, and was subsequently detained at the headquarters of the anti-graft agency. The arrest is said to be in connection with the Commission's ongoing investigation to alleged corruption in the execution of some power projects. Specifically, Maman is alleged to have conspired with staff of the ministry in charge of the accounts of the Zungeru and Mambila hydroelectric power projects and diverted 22 billion naira, which they shared among themselves. You can imagine. The investigation has also uncovered properties in Nigeria and overseas linked to the suspects, while millions of naira and United States dollars have been recovered. Taraba-born Maman who was appointed by the President Muhammadu Buhari in August 2019, was dismissed exactly 2 years in 2021. Mr. Peter, you see what I'm talking about? You see, according to this story, this one was shared, and that project was not executed as what the money was approached for. And these people, they will buy generator, right? Fuel their generator, and they'll be doing like 247. They will even mandate NEPA to ensure they have light in their own houses and community, right? Why other people are people like us, because I'm suffering the truth. I don't have light in my environment, okay? Yes. And where people that need light to execute business that will I can assure you, Mr. Peter, if there's stable light in this country, a lot of business will start and will continue and will grow and will go to a very good extent. When you look at the cost of fueling your generator, the cost of buying a generator that can power one AC right now will almost amount to 500,000 plus. And you want to start business. How can you fuel that generator? How can you service that generator? Be able to pay your staff and be able to still make gain from your business. But if light is continuous light, of course, you will be spending so much on electricity than compared to what you be spending on generator. And this is killing business in the country. This is part of the thing that is affecting this country. And somebody has been giving such money to execute project, and they share the money among themselves. I really hope that the government, the EFCC, will look into this properly, and this kind of person should go to jail with electricity. Yes, because this is wrong. Okay, it's completely wrong. I'm very angry because I know what it's costing me to run a generator. Okay, so let's leave that to the EFCC to do their job. Okay. And it's in the news already, and I'm sure that it will not slide. It will not slide. Yeah, still on. Of course, we'll see how other stories before we call it a day today, and then we have the story on still on China's News Online. And we can see NBA sets to file petition against suspended Adamawa Rec. We know this man, Obani. Obani has been the Adamawa Rec who declared Penani winner of the Adamawa State election. That is a supplementary election. And so now it's still the battle is ongoing. Has not ended. So the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has said it is working out a petition to take disciplinary action against the Mbato Resident Electoral Commission, REC of Adamawa State, Hudu Yanusi Ari, who is also a lawyer. The REC, who evaded arrest until May 2nd, is under investigation for his role in the controversial declaration of Aishatu Deharu of the All Progressive Congress as the winner of the April 15th supplementary governorship election. To the chairman, section of public interest and development of NBA, Monday Bani, who spoke on China television Sunrise Daily on Wednesday, said the NBA is planning to take a petition against him as a member of the bar. This is one of these. So, of course, as a member, he found that it's not, he has done something wrong. They have right to caution their member. So that's what is being considered at the moment. Okay. Then, yeah, we read the story earlier, but it's still in the Chinese news platform that talked about Obi and others asking tribunal to televise the proceeding. Please let it be televised. So I want to see it. I want to watch it.
We all want to see it.
Yeah, everybody wants to see
because
it.
we went out to cast our votes. All of us went out there to cast our votes. So.
Yeah, we want to see how the petition is, how they are taking over the court case is going. Mr. P, there's one that story that made the round during the week, where we saw a lot of people accusing Adeboye, the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian of God. I'm going to read the story so that we can you can know why he was being attacked. Okay. So the former Anambra State governor said that Peter Obi said he eschewed name calling, insults, and abuses. So the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, LP, Peter Obi, has described as most unacceptable attacks on the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor E.A. Adeboye. The former governor of Anambra State said some people are masquerading as his followers to rain insult on the 81-year-old cleric. Obi condemned the use of subterfuge, saying he eschewed name callings and abuses. The use of all this by people masquerading as obedience to abuse and insult eminent personalities like most pastors, Adeboye, or anyone else is most unacceptable. Obedience are by and large law-abiding citizens, he tweeted on Wednesday. Okay, you know, a lot of people during the week they were kind of based on some comment as if it was they didn't have kind of supporting the Asiwaju Tinubu that is going to deliver well and all that. Some story was coming out from there, which I know was actually rebuffed, that the church does not support in any way, directly supporting anybody, other than they are always concerned about the well-being of the whole nation as a whole. Because remember that comment some time ago that whoever comes to the church will pray for the person. If you come to them, I want to be this, I want to be that, they will pray for you. It's okay, let will the will of God be done over you. May God protect you. You know, this is what I know the Redeemed Adeboye has been doing. You will not come to him and he bounces you away. He will pray for you and wish you well. We also saw what Adeleke said. He said he was prophesied to that will become a governor. Eventually, it worked out for him. Despite the court battle here and there, it works out for him. So, but it would be very wrong for anyone to just come up and say, this man of God has said this when he has not expressly said it. Because anything he says on the new white preaching and all that, you can go online and see the video there. So it would be very wrong that some people just come up and create an assertion that this is what this man has said. You also gain people's to coerce people to believe that this is what the man of God has said. And this also generated some different, people reacting that why would the man of God be supporting this and all that. And some people that, according to Peter Obi, they are not really obedient. These are misguided. They're just masquerading themselves as obedient, hiding behind the umbrella, and be saying things, making people feel as obedient people that are saying this. And I think I'm in some of the platform where some people will just come and the way they even tweet, chats in that platform, you know this person is not a member of this platform. This person is just here to monitor and also just to be sarcastic. Some of them are just sarcastic, and you know these people don't belong to this group. So just hiding that umbrella to make things. And this is what has been happening. And this might say that obedience don't behave like this. They are obedient and they understand. Because if you look at what he said during when the election, ANEC declared APC, as soon as the election, he came out and said, obedience, let there be peace. I'll go through this, remain calm, I'll go through this legally, and that has been. And do you know some of those groups, some people just post message, no, let's go out and riot, let's go and do this, let's go and protest. Those obedience that would not say, no, that's not what our candidate has said. This is what our candidate. So we know some of them in this group. So that's what he's saying. Don't believe those are hiding and making some utterances just to create chaos in the country or to create a kind of belief that people don't really see that it's not what it is at the moment. So he's saying that on that. You can read the story on the Chinese news portal. It's all there. Okay, we're actually winding up, going to the end of today's broadcast. News, give you tidbits as regard the happening in the country. Okay, so we can see the story right now. FEC approves additional 129 billion naira for Ogoni cleanup. This is about we're talking about why now that the administration is rounding up, a lot of money is being approved, or things going on. So the senior special assistant to the president, Garba Shehu, disclosed this after the FEC meeting on Wednesday. So that some of this money has been approved for that area. Of course, we heard about the story of Ogoni cleanup and all that place in a mess, and they are making effort to ensure that the place is probably in a good living condition. According to the money would be used for the second phase of the Ogoni water project and the central remediation of newly identified hydrocarbon impacted sites. So Shehu said the money would be used for the water project, while 107 billion naira was awarded for the remediation of the newly identified hydrocarbon impacted site along the shoreline of Ogoni land. Also speaking, the Minister of Water Resources, Sulaiman Adamu, assured Nigerians that ongoing projects in the country won't be abandoned by the incoming administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think you should leave down to Tinubu to talk about.
Yes.
Yes. So you can't be speaking his his mind, because we have seen a lot of these things happen in some countries whereby the incoming administration will just come on board, and that project is will be there.
They will suspend.
They will just suspend it. They'll just suspend the project. So you can't be speaking for the news because they already have their mindset. They have it that they want to focus on. Okay. So we just hope that what you've said that that's what's going to happen. But for now, let's leave it at that. Okay, yeah, of course. You have been watching Prime Media Studio, and it's been Pastor Michael and the chairman and my able cameraman James. So we're going to leave it at this time frame. Of course, always subscribe to this channel so that all the time whenever we are up, you'll be seeing us, and soon, like I always keep promising, you'll be able to interact with us. Okay, so we can have you can tell us what's going on around your environment and so on and so forth. Like they were saying on some of those stations, our backyard. Tell us what's happening in your backyard. Okay, so we're going to call it a day here. Stay tuned, stay calm, remain peaceful, be law-abiding, follow the proceeding as it's going on in the court. You have right to go there anyway.
Yes.
Yes, if you are close to the environment, go there and let's see how the proceeding is going. And we hope that you televise it so that anyway I'll be able to see and follow. So we won't be hearing they say, then say. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Have a wonderful day.
A wonderful day ahead.